Today we're going to fix plantar fasciitis. Now, plantar fasciitis is pain right underneath the sole of the foot here, all around that arch area there, and also right underneath the heel. We've got exercises with a ball, we've got stretches, and we've got one strengthening exercise right at the very end. Now, the plantar fascia is basically a thick band of connective tissue that goes all underneath the foot here, and that big band of connective tissue gets inflamed and aggravated. So our goal is to release off that tightness through there, all running up through into the calf. So the first exercise we're going to run through is with a ball. So what I want you to do, take a ball, tennis ball, cricket ball, anything like that. You're going to place it on the floor, and then obviously without a shoe on, you're going to stand on the ball in the arch of the foot, not on the ball, not on the heel, right in the arch, push down onto it, and then very slowly, whilst keeping that pressure down, you're going to move your foot all around like this. It should be painful. So if it's not painful at all, it might be that your ball is a little bit soft. You need a harder ball, like a cricket ball or a hockey ball. Or if it's really not painful, then move into a smaller ball that's got a smaller surface area like a golf ball. And you're just releasing that tightness in the plantar fascia and all the muscles that run underneath that. Releasing that tightness really helps take pressure off the area, and you've got to take pressure off the area. Another way we can do that is this. So if you take a seat, and then you're going to get your foot across like this, get your thumbs and press in, and then run down through the sole of your foot like this. Pressing and rubbing all the way down through is again going to be super painful because you're pressing in almost as hard as you can and pressing and running down through to get deep into the area. Another point that we need to be releasing is all through the calf muscle down here, because your calf runs all the way on the back of the leg, right underneath and connects onto there, and the plantar fascia basically attaches through there as well, down through. So it's one big continuation. A stretch that we need to do is a gastrocnemius stretch. So basically come over to a wall, and you're going to put your hands on a wall, put the painful side back, point both feet at the wall, and then come through to here. You need to make sure you're keeping your back leg straight and heel on the floor. And you're going to bring yourself forwards, pause in this position. You should feel a stretch all through here in the gastrocnemius. But that's stretching out the gastrocnemius, it's stretching out the soleus muscle, and then of course we've rolled through the plantar fascia. The last stretch we need to do is with the big toe joint, because what you'll find is the big toe joint all through here attaches down in through the plantar fascia again, and it gets very tight on a lot of people, which can then lead on to things like knee pain. So we're going to stretch out that big toe joint all the way back to make sure your flexibility right the way through is intact and nothing is getting tight. So over to the wall again, and what you're going to do is put your foot against the wall like this, and then sink yourself down there like that. Bring your knee closer to the wall, and you'll find you get a deep stretch all the way through that big toe right under through there. So this one, again, is being held for about a minute, and you can do that one 3 times a day with the gastrocnemius and soleus stretch. The rolling of the foot, do just once a day for about 2 to 5 minutes. The one where you're stretching, those 3 stretches, you're going to do them multiple times throughout the day, 3 times throughout the day, and hold them for a minute each time. Then once you've done that, you've stretched all through the calf, soleus, gastrocnemius, you've rolled the plantar fascia, and you've stretched your big toe. The last thing we need to do is strengthen. So we're going to strengthen the calf muscle all the way down through here, because if you leave that weak, it's got potential for strains and aggravation and future tightness, which is going to allow the problem to come back. It's a really simple exercise that we're going to do. I want you to go over to a wall again, and then you're going to go all the way up on both toes as high as you can, and then all the way down to the floor. All the way up as high as you can, all the way down to the floor. Do this for maybe 20 repetitions, and if you're finding it's just way too easy, what you can do is this. You can go all the way up on both, and then you can put the weight over to the bad leg and lower yourself down. All the way up, over to the bad leg, lower yourself down. Thinking about it, it's probably worth doing the same thing on the other leg so you're not creating an imbalance. And then the last thing you can do if you wanted to, third stage, is just to simply put all the weight on one leg, all the way up, all the way down. Full range of motion. And again, we're going to be aiming for maybe 10, 15, 20 repetitions. And of course, do both legs. So the last thing that we need to focus on, which can be a bit of a game changer for people, is really focusing on when you're sleeping, not pointing your toes. So when people sleep, they're maybe lying on their front and they've got their toes pointed like this. or even lying on your back with your toes pointed like that. That's what we need to avoid, because that pointing down means that the whole calf is shortened, the plantar fascia is shortened, and then if you're like that for a few hours and sleeping, everything through here just gets tighter and tighter. You wake up in the morning, you're going to have massive amounts of pain, and you've almost reset everything. So after trying all these exercises, if you're finding that the problem's just not clearing, what you can do is get a brace to sleep in at night. So jump online, just type in plantar fasciitis brace or foot brace, and it basically comes around here and pins your foot up like that. So your foot, rather than allowing to drop down, it's just held there, not tight, but just held there gently. So when you're sleeping, your foot is there rather than pointing, and that just elongates all the muscles down the calf into the foot, which doesn't let it get tight overnight. When you wake up in the morning, you've not reset the problem, and that's a great option for you to choose.